All right, so document management, something we all struggle with, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's 2024, everything's digital,
Yeah.
and it feels like we're drowning in emails and files and
Information overload. It's a
no,
real struggle.
exactly. It seems like technology might actually have some solutions.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We often think of this as just a personal problem, like our inboxes are too full.
Well,
But this report empower all your business areas with hybrid generative AI. And they're talking about how businesses are facing this too.
it's true, and they really get right to it. Like they start with this quote from W. Edwards Deming, the management guru. He said, "If you can't describe what you are doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing."
Hmm.
It's like, whoa, okay. Before we even start talking about fancy software.
You have to understand why you're doing something.
Exactly.
What are you trying to achieve? Once you know that, then you can see where technology can help. That's the power of understanding your why.
It's so true. And they don't shy away from the problems that come with all this information. They talk about security risks, especially now with everyone working remotely,
Right. Yeah.
and that fear of losing important data. Even though everything's digital, you can still lose it.
It's a bit scary when you think about it. We think putting things in the cloud is the solution to everything, but you need to make sure that information is secure.
Yeah, it's like you've got to build a digital fortress around your data.
Exactly, especially with people accessing it from everywhere.
And it's not just about keeping things safe. It's also about making sure the right people can actually find the information they need, when they need it.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with so much data these days. It made me think of that quote from Melinda Gates, how she said, "Data are just summaries of thousands of stories. Tell a few of those stories to help make the data meaningful."
It's a really good point because it's easy to forget that. We get caught up in spreadsheets and numbers,
Totally.
but we need to remember the human side of it all. That's where technology can be so helpful, or it can make things even worse. We need systems that make this data relatable.
Definitely. And that's where, it sounds really complicated, but that's where this hybrid generative AI comes in.
We're not just talking about digitizing documents anymore. This is AI that understands your information.
Okay, so it's not just like scanning a piece of paper.
No, it's organizing it. It can even generate content based on what it's given.
Wait, hold on. Generate content. Is AI going to be writing our reports for us now?
Well, not quite writing for us, but think of it like this. You have an assistant who's read every single document your company has,
Okay.
and they can pull out the exact information you need in seconds. That's kind of what this hybrid generative AI can do.
So it's like super powered search, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, now that you put it that way, it does sound pretty impressive. But I'm curious, how does this actually work in the real world?
Right. Well, the report talks about Quigist's document management system.
Cool.
It's a prime example of this technology in action.
So they're actually using this hybrid generative AI.
They are. They've built it into their system.
Wow.
And what's really interesting is that they've managed to take this incredibly complex technology and make it user-friendly.
So you don't have to be like a computer whiz to use it.
Exactly. And that's a big deal because a lot of these systems can be so clunky and difficult to use.
So no more like spending hours trying to figure out where you saved a file.
Exactly. They focused on making a system that works for you,
That's a good idea. I like that.
not the other way around. You're not adapting to the technology. The technology adapts to you, and a big part of that is this AI doing all the hard work in the background.
So we've talked about the why behind all of this, but what about the actual problems, the nitty-gritty that this hybrid generative AI is supposed to help us with?
Well, they don't hold back in this report, that's for sure. One of the first things they highlight is data breaches, which, with so many people working remotely,
Yeah, it's a big concern these days.
it's a real risk. They talk about the need for really strong security measures, especially because you have employees all over the place accessing sensitive stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not just about hackers and, outside threats. It's also about controlling who has access to what within your own company.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
who can see what, who can change things, that kind of thing.
Yes, a good document management system has to address all of that.
So like you're building a secure vault, but it's digital.
Right.
And then even if you've got the security part figured out,
Mhm.
there's just so much data to deal with.
Oh my gosh, yes. The report made this comparison to a giant warehouse, but nothing's organized. There's just stuff everywhere.
I get that.
Documents all over the place, different versions. It's overwhelming.
It really is. So that's where this hybrid generative AI comes in?
Yes. Instead of digging through all that,
Right.
the AI can help you organize it in a way that actually makes sense.
So it's not just storing stuff. It's like it actually understands the information, right?
Exactly. It can tag things, recognize different file types, even learn what you prefer over time.
Wow, okay. That's pretty cool. So it's like having a personal assistant for your documents.
Yes, exactly.
And speaking of things that can go wrong, they also mentioned data loss in the report. I mean, you'd think in the digital age that wouldn't be as much of a worry,
You'd think so, but
but it sounds like it's still a major concern.
it is. Technology isn't perfect, right? Things can happen. Accidental deletions, glitches, even those malicious attacks we talked about.
Yeah.
And if you lose data and your business depends on it,
It can be a disaster.
exactly.
So it sounds like even with things like cloud storage and backups, having a really good system for recovering data, that's crucial.
It's like insurance, you know? You hope you never need it. But if something happens,
You're really glad you have it.
exactly. And a good document management system will include that safety net.
It's funny because when I think about document management, I usually think about like efficiency, getting things organized.
Sure, yeah.
But we're talking about security, data protection. These are really important things.
Absolutely. It's about having a system you can trust. And that actually leads into another challenge they highlighted: automating those document-heavy processes. Think about things like contracts
Oh, tell me about it. Getting signatures.
or invoices, approvals.
It takes forever.
I know, right? But this is where, again, this AI stuff can really help. Imagine a system that can take care of those repetitive tasks, routing documents for approval, keeping track of where things are in the process,
Okay.
even sending reminders automatically.
So how does it actually work? Does this AI just magically know what to do with all these documents?
Well, Quidge's system, it's designed to kind of anticipate what you need.
Okay.
Let's say you're working on a proposal, right, for a new client.
Okay.
The system can analyze what you're doing, pull up old proposals that might be relevant, even grab client info from different places.
So it's like doing all the background research for you.
Exactly. It's bringing everything you need together.
That would be amazing. No more like digging through old files trying to remember where I put something.
Exactly. And it's not just finding stuff, it can actually understand the documents. Remember we were talking about those AI features?
Yeah.
Imagine you've got a huge, long legal document,
Okay.
and you just need the main points. Instead of reading the whole thing, you can ask the AI to summarize it for you.
Okay, that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Especially with legal documents, they're so long and complicated. What about things like redacting information, like confidential stuff?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It's so tedious to do that manually.
Right.
The Quidgest system, it can scan a document and automatically redact things like social security numbers, anything sensitive.
And you know it's going to catch everything.
Exactly. No more worrying about missing something.
That's a huge relief. So it sounds like this system really does tackle a lot of the big document problems. But what about the technology side? What if my team were using different computers and phones and stuff?
That's a thing. They actually talk about that in the report.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what device you're using, you have access to everything.
Oh, that's good. So no more like compatibility issues
Right.
or having to email files back and forth.
Exactly. Everyone can collaborate, no matter where they are, what they're using.
Yeah, it's like it's actually designed for the way we work now.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual people. The report also talks about how companies can use this for like a centralized document system.
What does it mean, centralized?
So instead of every department having their own way of doing things, all the documents are in one place.
Oh, so everyone has access to the same information. Up to date.
Exactly. No more confusion, no more searching for different versions of things.
That would save so much time. And I bet it would save money too.
Absolutely. Maintaining all those different systems, it adds up.
It really does. So it's more efficient, more secure.
And easier to manage.
Sounds like a no-brainer for any company that wants to improve how they handle documents.
Yeah.
But I have to imagine implementing a whole system like this, that's got to be a big project.
Oh, for sure. But that's where Quidgest, they really focus on helping you through the process.
Okay, good.
They know it can be a big change. So from planning to training, even ongoing support, they're there.
That's good to know. Because it's not just about the technology, right? It's about having someone to help you use it effectively.